How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Good Morning Retro Rewind's Days of Old Extra. My tongue is broken this morning. Good morning to everybody. I hope everybody's having a good day at work, if you're listening to this at work. And if you're listening to this on Spotify or any podcast platform, including YouTube, be sure to give the podcast a review. If you're watching it on Spotify, it mixes in with Retro Rewind Days of Old that have consistent content coming out for you guys for when we're situating through seasons or games. For anybody who doesn't know, Retro Rewind Days of Old talks about retro games that we play over on Twitch. So sometimes there can be some dead zones where nothing's coming out about retro games because we're currently playing the game that we've recently talked about over on Twitch, which is V's Retro Rewind Days of Old. If you want to check out season 2 when it drops June 8th. Right now we're going through a season change, so we're prepping and bringing some new things, getting rid of some old things, and working on things as well for the outside community. So Good Morning Retro is just a fun filler for everybody so that they get an episode every single Tuesday talking anything and everything retro besides video games. Okay, and last Tuesday we talked Pokemon in general. A lot of it was about the Pokemon trading card game. I spoke a little bit about me getting back into the anime and so on and so forth. So if you want to check out that episode, that would be episode 5, I believe, of Good Morning Retro. So today we're going to be talking about the Pokemon Pokedex, and that's your Generation 1 Pokemon Pokedex that came out the year 2000. Normally I read some stuff off of like Wikipedia, just if I don't know too much about it, but I used this thing a lot back in the day when I was watching the Indigo series of Pokemon. So I just remember having it, and then anytime I'd watch the anime, I'd have this thing in my hand. I'd literally have this thing in my hand. It would go everywhere with me. So I'd have this thing in my hand, and anytime I'd see a new Pokemon, I'd look it up. Anytime I was out with my friends, pissing around with the Pokemon cards, doing battles and stuff like that, because I used to do that a lot back in the day. If I saw a card I've never seen before, I'd look it up. And it was fantastic, really. It was the best that you could have for your Pokemon adventure as a kid, because most kids at that time, at least where I came from, didn't have computers. Computers wasn't really completely relevant. The internet wasn't really super relevant. Where I came, like where I grew up, I wouldn't say where I came from, but where I grew up most, probably because you couldn't afford it. But these Pokedex were everything. It taught you so much. And I think there even used to be like Pokedex trainer cards. And, something I wish I would have mentioned in last episode when I was just talking about the Pokemon, like Pokemon in general, but more of the Pokemon trading card game, is that the cards look a lot different now. And I know they're going to look different over the years, but even the trainer cards look a little different. Like I remember it'd be like big bold trainer, title on the top of the card. Now it's just like in the corner. But yeah, but besides that point, the Generation 1 Pokedex was absolutely amazing. And you got to see like a little digital depiction of the Pokemon when you looked it up. I don't know how many generations they came out with. If I look it up here, I know there's different versions. Like the 1998. I think the Generation 1 came out in 1998. Or was it 99? Between 1998 and 2000 is when it came out. I can't be 100% sure. But it definitely looks like they came out with a bunch of different ones, a bunch of generational ones. but pretty much all do the same thing, it looks. Yeah. But see, I'm an OG fan though, like the Indigo series. So anything Generation 1, whether it be cards, the Pokemon themselves, the Pokedex, the anime, like it's Generation 1 for me all day. I know everybody's got their favorite generation, and I'm sure they're all good, but it's the one I grew up on. I'm looking at Pokedex toys right now in the shopping section of Google, and I just want to say that I'm looking at 2 trainer cards. The Pokedex 115 by 130 base tier 1 trainer card, and it's on Etsy, and it wants, for some odd reason, $38,154.99 Canadian. I need to click on this because that don't make any sense. Why? Yeah, that's literally what it says. Vintage rare Pokedex 115 out of 130 base set trainer cards with Pokeball bottom right corner. 2 available. These powerful cards allow the user to look at the top 5 cards of their deck and rearrange those 5 cards. However, they like to gain a great advantage in playing ahead. Blah 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 blah. UV light, room lighting, and measured sense collection in the 90s. They are stored safely in a binder. Yep. $38,154.90. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Anyway, Pokedex. Generation 1 Pokedex was my toy of choice back in the day. It had to be with me. It was like a freaking wallet. Okay, it had to be everywhere I went. So yeah. I know on YouTube you can leave comments. So leave comments on the video version of this podcast on YouTube, where you know, let me know if you carried this thing around like a wallet, if you used it all the time. If you don't know what a Pokedex Generation 1 Pokedex is, you just look it up on Google. You really can't miss it. If you've seen the Indigo series, you know exactly what it looks like. It's the exact same thing. A replica through and through. But yeah, thank you all so much for listening. I really appreciate it. Hope you have a good morning. If you're listening to this at work, have a good work day, and hopefully it's not too harsh for you. If you haven't played Pokemon in a while, and if you have one of these Pokedex, boot it up if it still works, and just kind of shuffle through it from time to time and just relive the nostalgia of it all. If you haven't seen the anime in a while, you know, give it a watch. Be a kid again. Don't be afraid to be a kid again. I legit have 2022 London World Championships of Pokemon pin on my hat, and I'm a 32-year-old man. Okay, just enjoy life, and if collecting Pokemon cards and enjoying the nostalgia things from when you were a kid makes you happy, then have at it. Okay, just be respectful about it. Just be respectful about it. Thank you all again so much for listening. This was Good Morning Retro. Good Morning Retro, if I can speak, because apparently my tongue is broken. And I'll talk to you again next Tuesday. Take care, everybody. Remember, if you're going to be an ass, be a badass. Stay retro.